Alrighty, so I do apologize for technical issues. So all we're gonna do this time is record this. So we're not gonna live stream anymore. We're just gonna record this and upload it later. I do apologize. Something's going on, something funky with the internet, and 99% of my frames are dropped. And if you don't know what that means, um, that basically means that you can't see anything. I'm just gonna record the video. Probably try to upload it later tonight. We'll see. Sorry again for that. So let's just go through. Let's just make this real quick loop, and then we'll try to get out of here. We need to find another clap, and I think we're probably gonna have to use. We're gonna use this clap only because okay, that's not what I want. Come on. Only because it's a little bit brighter, and since I have this snare, it's a bit darker. We're basically just going to complement themselves, and that way, I think, yeah. Basically, that way, together, they should make a nice little balance. We've got. I think what I'm going to have to do is make a separate channel for these so I can kind of drop the volume of just that one. And that way, that'll allow me to blend the other stuff a little bit better. Yeah, okay, this is not supposed to be there, and this is not supposed to be. Yeah, alright. Yeah. Difficult part of making stuff here is all of the little menial tasks in between and all the editing. I'll admit I like editing MIDI a lot better than I like editing audio files. But sometimes the audio files are just a lot better quality, and depending on where you download them from, they're just more interesting sounds basically. So, you know. All right, so we got a decent snare combo stuff going on here. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to add in the hats, and typically I like to use the hats as a software instrument. So we shall see. And then I'm gonna go over to the other computer, which you should be able to still hear. You won't be able to see though. And I'm gonna make. Excuse me. I'm gonna make the 808s. I gotta probably just adjust them, but I have a good idea of what I want to do for them. We're gonna pick a good hat. Let's see. I like these. Actually, I probably have a better sample. Let me see. Let me just go through the samples real quick and see what I got, and we'll see. But typically, I like to use my hats. So hi-hats closed. Let's see what we got. Kind of like that one better. Yeah, some of those are super weird sounding. I think I like. I don't know. Hang on. This one might work. Come on. The hi-hats aren't going to be super complex, honestly. Probably just going to be straight up like eighth note pattern. Or I guess that's 16th note, isn't it? Yeah, it's 16th. Math. This is why you don't want to drop out of school, kids. You gotta be able to do the math problems. You can do the math problems, I guarantee you. You will live well in life. If you don't know how to do them, oh crap! You know why they're not online, are they? Nope, they're not. Yeah, they're gonna get slightly off. Let's go back to the drawing board here, and yep, this one does. Let's just basically do this whole thing over again. This is also why you want to do it right the first time, so you don't have to do what I'm doing right now, which is going back and redoing a lot of this. Get it right the first time, kids. Alright. Let's see how that sounds now. Sounds better, but for some reason it still sounds off. Why does it sound off? Come on. It's not off. It just sounds off. Awesome. So that's the first half of the pattern, and then we'll basically have hats and everything else. I think I might go back and look at that that software instrument I had pulled up and see, because I did like one of the sounds there. We shall see. And I kind of want to adjust the volume automation here, but it's really tough to just do that for every single note. So all we're going to do is manually randomize it. So quite literally, we're just going to make some sections sound louder, and then every time we copy and paste, if we copy the automation over, it'll just automatically do it for us. So that one's a bit louder, that one's a bit quieter, this one's going to be a bit louder, these guys quieter, a lot quieter, that's a little too quiet, too much difference, there we go. Never want to do really 2 dB more. You want it to be subtle enough that it's noticed, but not so obvious that it's like a glaring thing that takes away, unless it's your intentional effect, which I've done for some songs as well, but you'll see later. We got these cool little claps in the beginning, so it goes like... Essentially, like, that's exactly how it's gonna go. So then all we need to do is, I don't want those claps to be there, so we're going to, hang on, I guess I gotta zoom in for this. Yeah, it's not all fun and games. People like look at producing music and they think, oh, you spend 30 minutes on it, and then congratulations, you have a song, and then you make a lot of money off of it. But that's not really how it goes. There's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of knowledge. You cannot produce music without without at least a basic understanding of music theory, and even the rules in there are complicated. They constantly contradict themselves. So let's see what this kind of sounds like. What we're gonna do is copy the claps over real quick, but all that extra filler stuff that I was doing with the that snare is gonna stay, so that's not gonna come in until the rest of the beat drops, and you will see what I mean right here. Yeah, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take that down in volume because those are just exceptionally loud right now. I'm not really sure why. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's whatever. All right. So we kind of got a rough little. I'm gonna kind of add some trills in there, maybe. We'll see where it goes. Okay, yeah, I kind of like that right there. So all that's gonna happen is you're still gonna hear that main hi-hat, but you're just gonna hear this in the background. And the reason you're gonna hear this in the background, it's gonna be super slight, is because it just throws in some variation, and it gives your ears something a little bit different to hear. Because if they hear the same thing over and over again, they get used to it, and then when your brain gets used to it, it becomes predictable, and people don't like that. So we got to keep your brain occupied. So you kind of can barely hear it. And what we'll do in to help it is wherever this thing appears, we might even mute them. Yeah, we'll mute these, and then I gotta level match these because these are super quiet still. So go into the compressor and kind of, first of all, I gotta increase my input gain and make sure that the compressor is doing something, and then second of all, I gotta level match. So let's turn that all the way down and let's match this up. You can also adjust the threshold. Yeah, there we go. So it's moving now. It's doing something, but now it's level matched. So this is what you hear. In the grand scheme of things, I always like to hear how it sounds in the big picture. And so I'm not gonna have that repeat. The loop is already super repetitive. So a lot of these random elements that I'm gonna throw. Oh, come on. A lot of these random elements I'm gonna throw in. I'm literally just going to, vary how often they're repeating. In other words, I don't want everything to just be super repetitive. Every 4 bars is the same thing. So just make it a little bit interesting, you know. The other thing you can do is automating the panning so that, one of these is to the one side and one of these is to the other. Because ultimately what that does is it occupies the stereo field a little bit differently, and then now your ears have each of your ears, your left ear versus your right ear, is something different to listen to every now and then. And this is, it's going to stay there at -4. Oh, that's why, because it's a minus, but it needs to be a plus. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I knew something was weird. I'm going to drop you down. So it kind of sounds like, the second time around it's in the other ear, basically. So it kind of sounds different and cool, and then basically what you end up having is the only thing left to do is pretty much the 808, and that'll fill out the low end spectrum pretty strongly, so you don't even need to do too much on the low end of it. What we're going to do is go over to this computer and work on the 808s. That's the original pattern I had. I think we're going to switch it up. So this is in F major, and it goes. So essentially, we're gonna kind of follow the kick pattern. So I'm gonna solo the kick pattern real quick, so I can hear just this with the metronome. So. Too low. I could go up. It's too high though. I like it down here. It's clipping and distorting because it's kind of loud. I think the sample, if I have to look over here, I think the sample is, yeah, let's see what this one sounds like. There's another sample. I like that one better. It's got a lot more rumble to it. So what we're end up doing is recording the new one, and when it goes to loop starts, it goes G, F, and then it goes D, C. So together, you would hear. So that was trash playing, but you get the point. So essentially, yeah, yep. We're gonna see how this works out. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. Instead of, I'm gonna let the 808 ring instead of at that end, instead of having it so that it's you know, double, kind of like that rapid pattern, like the kick is. So it sounds like, yeah, some clipping problems there. So essentially what ends up having to happen is I have to bounce this out of one computer, and it's a pain in the butt because one Logic is updated on and one Logic is not, and I prefer to keep the old Logic on one computer so that I have access to all the instruments I wouldn't normally get. Another car going by. So I have to use the new sampler on my older computer, bounce it out, send it to my newer computer, which uses the older version of Logic, and then import that pattern in. So essentially, and this might sound ugly, but essentially we kind of have, I gotta cut this down real quick because it goes over, yeah, it clips at the end. So let's do this. So essentially we kind of have this pattern going on, and I also have to be careful and manage, you know, mixing wise, make sure there's no clipping, make sure it's being compressed, limited, all that. So it kind of sounds like that. So I mean, and we'll take the sample out for a second so you can hear how just the kick and everything interacts. And that's not what I wanted. Command Z that. What is this? Oh, that's an 808. Okay. What the heck? I don't know. That's why you keep your project organized too, because the less organized you are, the more you have the moments like that where you just kind of forget what's going on with your project and it looks like trash. So here's just the kick in 808. I'm going to, you know, my compressor, and I'll just work on the 808 real quick and make sure it's being properly compressed and that it fits in the pocket a bit better. It's being compressed. I don't know that I think I would fix that in mixing, but I would do that all in Pro Tools, which is a better processing engine. So everything together kind of sounds like this. And honestly, the loop itself is pretty strong in the mid range. It is a guitar after all, so I would I would take out a lot of these low frequencies that are happening in the guitar, because like here's I just EQ'd, so here's what it sounds like without the EQ, just normal. Here's what it sounds like with the EQ. There's a lot of low end missing, and then gives room for the 808 to kind of to hit, which you hear this. So the melodic part of the loop is still there, but the body of it's gone, and it's being supported instead by the 808. And I can even go into the high stuff and kind of put some sparkle on it a bit. You know, probably add something else too. And the cool part is, if you're listening to this on headphones or anything like that, it doesn't sound as knocking as it kind of does when you have like a subwoofer or you're in your car and it's a really strong frequency, or really strong in the lower frequencies. And so essentially, this is kind of the loop, and this is from here as a producer where you kind of say, okay, I've done what I can do. I have a nice little canvas for the artist to paint on. And so you're done making a beat. You just here and there maybe you'll put together different loops and you'll say like, okay, I'll drop the 808 here, or I'll drop a kick here, or I'll drop a hat there, you know, leave it out, and then you create a difference in the sections, but then ultimately you get a song. So this is essentially what it kind of sounds like. So it sounds cool, and you can do some other stuff like, you know, I put a wider on this little clap here, so it's outside more, and it's got its own room in the stereo field, and so it just makes it a lot more interesting. And then, you know, maybe I'll even throw a variation in, so I'll go into here and you've got, you know, instead of just having it straight quarter notes, I'll throw in an extra eighth there. So you've got, you know that right there, that you know. So yeah, so that's all you can pretty much do as a producer. Is just kind of leave that there, and then, you know, send it off to the artist, and maybe you have them It's a collaboration at that point, and you just feed ideas off each other. So that's gonna do it for tonight. I do apologize again for the stream issues. This is a recorded video. I switched to recording very quickly. I apologize if you tuned into the stream and you weren't able to watch. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot some Wi-Fi issues later on, and we'll see what's going on. But if I am not able to do live streams, I'll just do this instead. Well, I'll kind of just record a raw video and upload it every Saturday night, and then you can tune in when you want to. But make sure you check out the rest of the channel for some musical content. I got some other gaming stuff going on too, and I got videos dropping every Tuesday, Thursday, and then next Friday on Christmas Day, I'm starting a new series, so tune in then. Once again, for the next couple of weeks, I will be on break for the holidays, so this is the last time I might talk to you. Have a very wonderful and safe holiday. Please, please be safe with everything going on. I think you know what I'm talking about. Please be safe, at the very least, so that things can go back to normal sooner rather than later. That'll do it for tonight. I'm going to play this one more time, and then I will see you guys next time.